at all the comments. I don't see all the
No,
comments.
yeah,
So
no, I get that.
yeah. What do you, and I want to level with you, Keenan. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? For a long period of time, for like, matter of fact, for like, uh, it's shit. As long as I've been on this app, everybody knows that I'm a communist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm super far
Right.
left. Like, I was a Bernie bro. I am super opposed to the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And
I'm a communist,
obviously,
so I can see one when I see one. Yeah.
yeah. So, and obviously, I hate the Republican Party because they're nothing but
Well,
fascists at
yeah.
this point.
Right.
But I have a bunch of kids, bro. Like a bunch, like more than a person should have, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that being said, like they have to have a country to grow up in, or otherwise I have to leave, right? And so right now, as much listen, I promise you, if you guys can find me a third party candidate who can raise the nearly $2 billion that it's going to cost to run a campaign and get on the debate stage, get on the main debate stage with, you know what I'm saying, people from both candidates, like Ross Perot did. He didn't have to spend $2 billion, but that was many years ago, right? And they didn't have to spend as much back then. But literally on Biden's campaign last year or last time, $2 billion. If you can find somebody who can raise the money and get on the stage and get the media attention, I will dedicate every waking moment, you know what I'm saying, working for them. But now's not the
Yeah.
time to fuck around with my children's future and the future of women in this country, or their safety, or my fucking safety as a black man. Now's not the fucking time to be playing around. It's just not. Like, I don't know if anybody's watching what's going on in the world. Italy elected a fascist. Germany is going back to fascism. Britain has massive, white nationalist sectors within their government now. And when America sneezes, the rest of the world gets a cold. We, unfortunately, have to be the example.
Okay, damn, that was good. I get that. I guess I'm just bitter from hearing like now is not the time for the past like 3 general elections or 3 presidential elections and like 5, 6
I
general
agree.
elections.
And this is why, and this is precisely why we should have been doing something when Trump was in office, 2 years leading up to the 2020 election. For 2 years leading up to the 2020 election, what we should have been doing is grooming somebody for
Yeah.
this election right now, for this 2024 election cycle right now, knowing that, hey, Biden is going to carry us in, into 2020 and through 2024, and then he's going to step aside, and then this is the person. And we should have been doing that 6 years, or if, like I said, a third party candidate. If we were not going to run a progressive candidate through the DNC, then we should have been working 6 years ago. 6 years ago, we should have been working on this.
No, that's a
And so
very
everybody
valid
keeps
point.
saying, "Oh, I'm so tired of just having these two choices," and they're doing absolutely nothing up until election year.
Fair. That's fair.
Or maybe the year prior.
Yeah, I've been struggling with this hard, but this is a reality check I really needed.
Like, listen, I don't want neither one of these old ass white men. I don't want to see another old ass white man in the office ever again. And if you read my article, I talk about this in the article, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to.
In order, you know what I'm saying, for us to have a better society, better community, better organization that you work for, any of those things, you have to work from the bottom up. There has to be a bottom up approach to leadership, right? And there needs to be collectivism within your leadership. But you need to focus on the bottom rung of the ladder, right? Identify who those people are and make sure that all of their needs are met. If you make sure that all of the material conditions are met of an individual, right, that has multiple marginalizations or multiple intersectional points, right? If all of their needs are met so that they have an equitable standing as somebody who needs less accommodations, as somebody that needs less accommodations, right? then everybody else that doesn't need that doesn't need accommodations, they're, by the very virtue of this system, their needs are met. You've closed all the gaps.
I hear you.
You've closed all the gaps. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you for the $20 Cash App. W Linda in the chat.
The thing that's just sticking with me is specifically with the uncommitted movement in Michigan, and specifically Palestinian families in Michigan. Like I don't know what to tell them. I don't know how to tell them. I feel for them.
I feel for them, and I want this to end. And to be honest with you, if we had a Democratic House of Representatives, or with some more progressive candidates, and if we had more progressive candidates in our Senate, because almost all of the seats are up this election cycle. If we focus on our local and state elections, right? Our local municipalities, our state level elections, you know what I'm saying, our representatives in the Senate, House and Senate, if we focus on putting the most progressive candidates we can into those seats and make sure that we keep the conservatives out to the best of our ability, you know, flip the House, maintain the Senate, there's enough people in there that will pass legislation to cut off funding to Israel.
That's true.
And the president's going to have to sign it.
Yeah.
Like people think that the president has some type of superpowers or some shit. The president does not have ultimate authority. Not at least. Well, I don't know. After the Supreme Court decision, I don't know. But that's the other thing. Whoever the next president is going to have the ability to appoint 2, if not 3, new Supreme Court justices. That's dangerous.
Well, I do want to speak on that, because another thing that it was even before this that I was having trouble with voting for Biden, because they said in 2020 to vote for them and they had to protect Roe, and then it wasn't. And I'm like, I understand all of the logistics of having the filibuster, of having the Supreme Court justices and stuff. But if you don't make that campaign promise, then don't say oh, we got to protect Roe, if you know for a fact that's not something you're going to be able to do, even if you have the Senate that Joe Manchin, and you're not going to have the people you're not going to have the votes to overturn the filibuster. It felt like an empty promise they were making. And
but that's because people don't participate in the midterm elections.
Yeah, can I say something about that real quick?
I'm gonna Justice. I'm gonna swap you. Ran out of spaces. You've been on there the longest.
All right, thank you.
So to say that you're disappointed that they didn't fulfill their promise, do you want to know whose fault that is? Just like Mr. Jones said, it's our fault. We didn't show up at the midterms. Hell, even the last general election, Democrats were like, it's fine, and stayed home. It is our fault that we are not putting the people we want into the seats that make this legislation, that get these things through from the local level all the way up through the federal. It is our fault that we are allowing these shit Republican candidates to come in and do the things that they're doing.
And most of them run unopposed.
Right. There's no reason why Lauren Boebert should have been reelected. Where the hell were the people in Colorado? Last time when she won, the margin was so slim.
Or Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Exactly. It is our fault that these things are going and continue to go on. We have to show up, and we have to put the people we want into office. And we can't sit on our hands and go, oh, well, look what they're doing. Now I'm voting for nobody. It is our fault.
Well, what I will say is that in the past 3 elections from 2018 on, Gen Z and millennials have voted in record numbers. So we're really I'm sitting in that position where I have been politically active, and I have been voting for these people, and I still haven't seen these things change. So it's so now not only do I have to vote for a party that I believe is incredibly is actually more conservative than people actually believe, but then I actually have to go advocate for people to vote for a party that doesn't even align with my values. It's just I've been doing that work, but because other people haven't been doing it, I still have to do it. It's getting tiring when other people aren't doing the shit.
How much time are you spending talking to your friends and family members? You know what I'm saying, about participating in in the election process.
A lot.
And
Yeah, I talk a lot about politics in my family.
and listen, I talked to my family about it to the point where they didn't even want to talk to me anymore, and I still talked about it.
Same.
Do you know anybody, any of your friends who are running for office? Have you encouraged any of them to run for office, even at the local level?
I mean, I just moved to Denver, so I actually don't know a lot of people around here. But what I am doing is I'm wanting to set up a communist party here, is the Workers' Power Party in Colorado, because they have some contacts here. But I want to try to set that up. So that's something like that's kind of the place that I'm going, because it's like even with writing candidates in Colorado, you have to register. So like it's all about ballot access in Colorado. So like that's like getting a party is the easier way to do that. So that's kind of the route I'm focusing on.
Nice. Power party. I love that. I love
Hey,
that.
John.
Shout out.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. Have you had some water? Say something kind about yourself, Bo?
Yeah, I've had water, man. Yeah. I've been telling myself to get through the pain for 3 days. So yeah, I've been doing that.
Oh yeah.
But I can't stay up long, man. Just dealing with something right now. But I just wanted to say something real quick to everybody in TUFF family, if that's all right, and then I'll get out of the way. As much as I want to tell a story of my accomplishments, I don't believe I will be answering in good faith by claiming that I am a successful leader without acknowledging that in no aspect of the positions I was appointed was I able to accomplish anything without enormous participation from other individuals, be it their labor, their ideas, their encouragement, or their time. Any measure of success that has been bestowed upon me is directly attributed to the success of the group. Jones, I read the whole thing when you shared it, my brother. And though my head was screaming bloody murder, it still is. I know this is true about you, man. I've been watching you, and I saw when people basically not only tried to tear you down, but made you not want to come back. I donated when you had to make your move. And then eventually I came up in the box and you welcomed me as family right away, and I did the same. And I have been in your corner and a part of your team since. I read the entire thing, and I'm telling you, I'm going to read this sucker like there's no tomorrow for you. And I'm going to record it as well. Make sure you have it recorded for you as well. I'm going to do a professional recording, and we can do a live read whenever you're ready. But I'm going to tell you, in no uncertain circumstances, my brother, and to those who expressly put their effort in time and ideas into supporting the path that he walks and that walks it with him, I and my combat fighting, traveled the world, done all types of crazy things self, who is not impressed by anything on this planet, am wholeheartedly impressed by y'all. I have seen a lot of things that everybody have read about and talk about and hear. I have seen the worst of humanity, to the brightest, to the most beautiful, to the most darkest things that I would wish no one to see. I am rarely ever impressed by anything. And I know that is a problem on my heart, but I am impressed by what you do, my brother. No Rads, your support. Dan Trail, how you started moving forward because of Jones, and the TUFF family and the people who continue to come in here and support every day, even when Jones has to repeat the same damn shit every day. Much love, everybody. Unfortunately, I can't stay on here. I'm dealing with some stuff right now. So y'all be good. Y'all keep it sexy, and I will do my best to try to listen and hang in as long as possible. All right?
Appreciate you, bro.
Love you, Bone. If you need anything, even if
Every
you just
time.
want me to tell you some ridiculous shit like I always do, text me. I'm here for you.
Yeah, the link to that article is in my link tree. It's in my bio, guys. The link to the article.
And I need some words for you, man, for the jersey and shorts. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm here for it. Miss Autumn Breezy and then Black Historian. Good morning, Breezy. Have you had some water? Said something kind about yourself?
Yeah, I actually just took my pills, so
Good, good. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Remember to take your medication, guys.
I'm also gonna take my world famous Cali medication
I hear
in a
that.
bit. Also, I just wanted to come up and do what I usually do, and I come up here and go, me and Mr. Jones. I don't do Billy Paul any justice.
It's a great song, though. I do like that
Oh my
song.
god. Right. Also, I still don't believe that you're older than me.
I'm old. I'm an old man.
I turned 31 this year, and I don't believe you're 10 years older than me.
I drink a lot of water. I think that the
I
key is
feel
like drink water and don't be a bigot. That's it. That's all I can think of. That's all I can think of. But I appreciate you, Autumn.
I always appreciate you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you so much. Hey, Black Historian. Good morning. How are you? If you had some water and say something kind about yourself.
Hey, yeah, I'm good. Yes, I've had some water. Yes, I've said something kind about myself.
Glad to hear it.
How are you?
It's a it's a great morning. It's a great morning. Like I can't just reading the article back or just seeing, you know what I'm saying, the article posted, and there's actually multiple more coming out here in the next few weeks, days and weeks. Like I just keep tearing up every time I see it and read about it.
That's good. I'll read it this afternoon. Bone, I hope you're feeling better. If you need anything, let me know. I just wanted to say, I mean, again, as someone stated, it's our fault that we couldn't get anything codified because Democrats do not come out during the midterms.
Right.
It's important to vote in every single election. You never know what's on the ballot. We don't give the support. Only time we go out and vote is for the president. The president doesn't have unlimited powers. You see what happened when you executive weigh your order through the presidency. Nothing happens. The next president comes in and just removes them all. Also, if they could have gotten everything, maybe they could codify Wade, and Roe v. Wade, and maybe they can impeach those judges. They keep saying it's never been done before. Well, the Republicans have been doing a lot of outlandish shit that haven't been done before. And I wish the Democrats would get a backbone and a spine and stop talking about it. The other thing is why they keep doing the work for the Republicans by saying Biden is old. So is Trump. We know they're old, but nobody's focusing on Trump's age or asking Trump to resign. They're just asking Biden to resign because he had a bad debate. And why are people letting Jill Stein up on their platform? You don't want an old white man, but you want an old white woman. Which one? Jill Stein shouldn't even be a consideration at this point.
Has anybody ever actually heard, you know what I'm saying, Jill Stein speak, or you know what I'm saying, like
Yes.
heard some of her campaign ideas?
I've heard them and they're ridiculous. How is she going to get them passed when she has no support
Yeah,
on the congressional level?
right. But in addition to that, you know what I'm saying, like none of them are beneficial to minorities.
Us, none of them. But yet black people are flocking to her, and the Muslim and the Palestinians are flocking to her because she's not the one committing genocide over there. I'm like, what happened to all the presidents before then? I didn't hear this loud of a voice because all of them have been complicit. What's happening over there in Palestine? Even my favorite one, Obama. She's horrible. Stein is horrible.
Didn't
They won't let me up on
RTP
the
talk to
panel
Jill
whenever
Stein
she-
like last summer?
Whenever I see her on a panel and I try to go up, they won't let me up. They won't let me up to talk to her.
I got
I
invited.
just wanted to say bye.
Maybe
Have a
I
good
didn't
day.
respond.
Okay, I'll see you.
So, hey y'all, I'm about to drop. I'm try to get some things going. Once again, like I said before, they haven't even assessed our area. Y'all, if you give well wishes and
Oh, it's
everything else,
Marianne. You're right. It was Marianne Williamson. I apologize, guys. You're right.
Marianne.
Yeah. Same shit. Same shit.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Jones?
Hold on one second. Let Black Historian finish, and then absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just saying, another old white woman. Nobody's talking about her age or Trump age. I don't know why, and I
Yeah,
don't know
she's
why.
74.
Yeah, and I don't know why people keep continuing to let the Democrats like do it the nice way. Biden, why don't you resign because of your age? They're not talking about Trump or anything. All the lies that he's telling, they're just doing the Republicans' work for him. I was like, that they're actually being like Martin Luther King and Malcolm said, just being nice about it. So I land there. I'm just pissed today.
I understand. Hey, Keenan, go ahead and ask your question, then I'm gonna go to.
Heavens, yeah. No, I just, as a leftist, as a communist, like, how do you still feel motivated to vote or not vote, but like to advocate and try to get people to vote for the Democratic Party, given what Black Historian was just talking about? Like, I find that it's just like a really hard dichotomy for me to like want to like promote them, but like totally against my values, right?
Yeah.
I can tell.
Go ahead.
I said I can tell you how. Go to their pages and tell them to shut the fuck up, and tell them that they doing the Republicans' work for them. I mean, or start writing op-eds and start going in the writing them and making it public that they need to shut up or they need to resign. You can always vote them out of office. Campaign against them.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so instead of campaigning for them, just hold them accountable for their shit.
Yes.
So when I was still like living in DC, like I was actively engaged, like actively engaged in every aspect of the community, from the school board. Like, I mean, here at, where I live now, I'm on the parent advisory board of my children's school. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I made sure that things were implemented into the school, you know what I'm saying? Such as like, being culturally responsive. And like the things that I believe in, right? I get involved in the places that I can make sure that those things happen. And when I tell you, and no Raz can tell you this, I don't accept no ever. Like Jovan, no Rads will be at Disney and they're like, oh yeah, they're not going to let us do X, Y, Z. And I was like, yeah, I'll be right back. And then I'm like, all right, come on guys, let's go. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, listen, you're not just going to tell me no. And I'm just going to be like, oh, okay. I'm going to do whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? In a respectful and educated manner, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the things, done that I want for myself, my family, and my community.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So get involved. Really quickly, Casey, thank you for the $10 Cash App, and Adrian, thank you for the $8 Cash App. I appreciate you both. Who was next? I for some reason I feel like I know who this is. I'm not sure.
This is
Oh God.
or is it you?
No, it's the frog.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sam. You can use they them pronouns for me.
Okay.
I think so. I'm also in Denver, Keenan. I just sent you a friend request. I would love to hook up if you don't mind. I will say, like, one of the things that I just wanted to add was, like, I just moved to Denver from Texas, where in Texas I was seen as like out of the loop of politics, even though I regularly talk to folks about politics. Whereas when I moved here to Denver, the people here, my neighbors, can't even tell me who the mayor of Denver is. They can't tell me who the governor is. They can't tell me who anybody on city council is. It's just not as involved because their rights aren't immediately, like the white folks here, their rights aren't immediately under attack. So they're just like not at all activated. And I don't know what necessarily the answer is because I've moved from a predominantly minority and folks of color space to a now predominantly white space. And so like I'm down to talk, like I'm down to try, because I'm also trans. And so it's just, I'm stuck in this position where like I'm a very privileged to have been able to move, but like all of my friends who are like trans people of color, folks who have like a lot of intersectional, triple, quadruple minority status, like I don't and won't feel comfortable talking to them about voting for Biden, you know, especially after what the Democratic Party has done for transgender rights, which is like not very much. So that was all I had to say.
I have a very real question for you. A very real question for you. I know that you follow me, so that I'm pretty sure that you know that I do a lot of work, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the queer community, right? Do you think that it's more dangerous or less dangerous moving forward to attempt a third-party candidate at this current juncture, like right now in this moment?
Right now in this moment, unfortunately, I hate that this is my answer, Mr. Jones, but I think that really it only matters for the trans people in blue states. I don't know that the red states are stopping. I have friends who are in Austin, Texas, bluest city in Texas, and they're still struggling to get access to hormones and the things that they've been getting access to for years.
Right.
So yes, I think that it will make a difference, but I only think it'll make a difference in blue states, because the red states, I just don't know.
But
I just don't know.
But if again, if we're working on our local levels, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that we're putting people in seats, both in the state and federal level, right? So that we can set forth protections, you know, in Congress, and not in both the state you know, our state congressional bodies and our federal congressional bodies. But I don't feel like people are participating enough. I literally, it's not even feel. People aren't participating enough. People aren't participating enough. And if you allow him to get into office, you know, because hey, I can't bring myself to vote for Biden, and I get it. Like, trust me, I 1,000% get it. Right? If we allow him to get into office, he's going to sign legislation, and nobody's going to be able to stop him. Not even the Supreme Court, because they've already granted him immunity for official acts. So if he says it's an official act that quite literally no one, and this is part of Agenda 47, no one can identify and can any longer identify as trans, it's a wrap. It doesn't matter what state you live in.
I agree. I mean, I'm going to be voting. I'm doing the thing. I'm just saying, like, I also just have a lot of empathy for the friends that I know who aren't voting. Like, I will try to talk to them. I'm going to try, but it's like, I get where they're coming from. They're basically saying, like, at least it felt like what they were saying to me, you know, like as a white trans man, is like, I felt like what they were saying to me is like, yeah, your life might change, but mine is never going to change. Like, this is my life now. And I don't feel comfortable even engaging in that conversation because I don't know the experience. And it's also like, I don't even know what to say to that, because I think they're right. Like, everywhere I've been told yes, they're being told no. We're on the same exact mental health journey. So it's just like, I hear you. And Keenan, please, like I said, hit me up. I'm happy to get involved and help you start something. But it's just like, I feel like the response keeps saying is like, I feel like the response is like, if you don't do this, things are going to be horrible. But then, like, I talk to my friends and things are already horrible for them. So I'm not sure, like, it's hard. It's a hard conversation, I guess, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up too much space.
No, you're fine. You're not taking up too much space. I want your voice to be heard.
But I want to say, what did not voting get them? Got us Trump. They saw what happened when we didn't vote. So it's just going to get worse. And I'm sorry, being a Black woman, I am seriously consider leaving the country if November 21st and Trump is here. I'm tired of fighting for people that don't even want to participate in the system and sit here and complain, or don't want to participate in the system because it's not affecting them. Yeah, not yet. but you only want to fight for rights that affect you. And then when I pointed out that then black women get demonized for it because you're only fighting for rights that affect you and what you can do freely, but you don't give a fuck about the people that's underneath you. So I'm you're gonna have less people fighting for you, because I know a lot of us black women and black people are considering leaving the country, and then the only marginalized group that will probably be YT women. See how that works for you guys.
Can I co-sign the Black historian?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying.
Sure. Hey,
That was all.
Keenan, I'm sorry, Keenan. I'm gonna swap. No, you're fine. No, go ahead, Heavens. I was just saying, Keenan, I'm gonna swap you out. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no,
free
thank
to
you
come
for
back
listening.
anytime.
People just
Absolutely.
pick me, but thank you.
No, I would never, bro. I would never.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
If I did, I jump ahead of somebody?
No,
again?
Heavens, it's on you. Have you had some water? Said something kind about
Okay.
yourself?
'Cause basically, yeah, it was what Black historian was saying. It just keeps making me think about 8 years ago when Comey went unprovoked and said, "Hey, I have a testimony for the Senate." And he goes in front of the Senate and he says, "Yeah, I think we might have probable cause to look at Hillary Clinton's server. There might be something with her emails, so we're going to look at that." But they never said anything. He never said anything about investigating what Trump said himself on the Access Hollywood bus.
Right.
That wasn't worth looking into. The fact that he himself said, "I assault women because I want to." And but everybody just heard, "Oh yeah, there might be something on her servers." And then 2 days before the election, he came and said, "Yeah, there's nothing there after all." But at that point, by then it was too late. The damage was done.
Right.
There's another whisper campaign going on right now, but it's not a whisper, it's a shout to undermine Biden and the Democratic Party. And whether we are Democrats, progressives, liberals, whatever we are, that man on the screen right now is a danger to humanity. He's not just a danger to democracy. He's not only a danger to America. He is a danger to humanity. Look at everything that we're back where we were 8 years ago. Okay, we have made almost zero progress forward. I'm just saying that anecdotally. There's so little progress that has been made because he rolled everything back practically to the 1920s, and then with all of his executive orders, and then Biden had to undo all of that just to get us like 20 feet from the starting line. And now that we're back to zero, people are like, "Well, I don't see any progress. I don't see any progress." Well, when you have to keep fighting to get back to your to balance your sheet, when somebody keeps coming by and knocking all of your work off the table, it's really hard to see progress. And we're not seeing progress because people have short memories. Remember Comey and how he undid us. He snatched that victory from Hillary Clinton. And then on top of all that, we had Cambridge Analytica, Facebook, Twitter, and all of the bots. And then the fake elector people, and then people stealing the votes. That was stolen from Hillary in 2016. And people are talking about just giving it to Trump in 2024. What is wrong with you guys? And who is saying this? Why are you saying it? I am 51 years old, and my nieces have now had their rights stripped from them. The rights that I grew up with my entire life, those rights are now being stripped away from them. To say that is something that states should be able to manage is the wrong answer. This is something that we all as Americans should be able to enjoy as an inalienable right. Just like we don't have states mandating whether a woman can vote, whether people can read, go to school, or have safe roads and safe water.
Somebody asked you what rights specifically, if you wanted to elaborate.
Are we talking about women's rights?
I'm just reading the comment out because that's what they asked.
I see. But, our daughters in Texas, in Kansas, in Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee have had their rights stripped. We are no longer equal when we have to ask permission to go and see a women's doctor. I might be exaggerating there a bit, but that's where we're going. If we have to go and see a women's health professional, if you have to leave the state just to see a GYN.
Which is fucking crazy.
And why do you think I'm white? Because I'm speaking like this? Oh, whatever. Park your bias, okay? Anyway, I was just piggybacking off of what Black historians said because it's something that's weighing on, it should be something that's weighing on us every day. And we only have two choices. And George Clooney did such a freaking horrible thing yesterday when they're publishing the op-ed everywhere, all from New York Times to everything, saying that Biden should step aside because he's a doddering old man. And the man is 82 years old. And you know something? My stepfather passed away at the age of 80 of dementia. He was not a man that I would put in office at 76 when we voted for Biden, but that didn't make him any less of a good man, my stepfather. Biden doesn't have dementia. Biden doesn't have Parkinson's. People talking about the Parkinson's doctor are doing armchair detective work and not even doing a really good job of it. Go back to watching Murder, She Wrote. That's more entertaining at this point. I'm really, really tired of the infighting and the self-sabotaging that we're doing on the left. That's what I wanted to say. I think I'm going to land it there. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rambling.
No, I
So
appreciate you.
friends. And yes, I had my water, and I said nice things to myself, and I had my medication. I really did. Thank you.
I'm glad to
Oh,
hear.
and I have been following you since you told Kevin Samuels that he's an incel.
I can go ahead and jump down too. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to step in and
Kevin
say
Samuels
to people
fucking
in the
hated me.
in the comments who were saying about why people are having a hard time accessing OBGYN and maternity care. If you guys didn't know, there are many states, because of the restrictions that they're putting on providing life-saving medical care to people with uteruses, they're fleeing those states, they're leaving those states because they can face criminal prosecution, as well as the drastic reduction in medical students going into OBGYN residency programs. We're losing a lot of potential physicians in those fields. So people are having a hard time accessing even just that routine preventative care for a PAP or getting an order from a mammogram if their primary care doesn't provide that for them. So we are seeing essentially healthcare deserts.
Yeah.
No, Rats, if I can respond to that, you're absolutely spot on. You look at states like Idaho, you look at states like even Utah, Idaho, anywhere that there's basically a Christian mandate in place to restrict women's rights. OBGYNs are leaving those locations. They've restricted Planned Parenthood all across I-10 and I-20. Okay, Texas, well, maybe not Louisiana, but Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Where can you go in those locations for affordable women's health care. You can't. It's not there. They've been pushed out of the states through more and more restrictive local laws. Oh, there we go. There's that local word again. Local legislation, local rules and mandates, regulations that say that you have to have a particular type of doctor with a particular type of license, and you have to have this type of equipment on site just to do medical manual exams, basically pap smears. You have to have a room with life-saving equipment in it just to do medical examinations. That is ridiculous. You're not performing surgical or even medical abortions in those rooms. I'm sorry, procedures in those rooms. You're providing care. You're providing counseling. But you can have down the street, you can have somebody who's calling themselves a doctor, but they're really one of those predatory Christian adoption places. Again, here I am monologuing, but I just wanted to respond to you, No Rats, and say that you're absolutely right. That's where we are seeing those things. And if I'm wrong, you're going to tell me, and I'm just okay.
Can I jump in real quick? So you know how the Southern Baptists are now not letting women preach? They probably don't want them to be doctors anymore as well. So who's to say they can't take away women's rights to be doctors or attorneys? Because that's the way it's looking to me. And they didn't start that until when Trump was in office. They decided, hey, women aren't allowed to preach anymore. So I meant to say Marjorie Taylor Greene won her district because that district was actually created for her. And I don't know if she had any incumbents running against her in that district. So
she doesn't have anyone running against her now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't dare live in there. That I feel like if I went there, the sheets would come out. So yeah, no way. But people don't understand how important it is. Even though you think the president has all the power, this Supreme Court appointment and these Senate seats are important. If we can get at least 66 Senate seats in there, we could, and hopefully they'll go along with AOC to get Thomas and Alito and probably the other three justices out of there who lied under oath about Roe v. Wade. You could possibly get a decent Supreme Court up there who actually look at the laws and not personal feelings. Or maybe we can even pack the court, get 13 justices up there like it's supposed to be, instead of just 9. So I'm just hoping we can get some more Senate seats in there.
Just in response to what you were saying again about women's health care. I'm an older woman, I'm in menopause, and in order for me to manage my menopause symptoms, I need hormone replacement therapy. Guess what they're restricting? If you're a man and you have low testosterone, that's something that they're restricting because they're putting all of that stuff under anything that they're trying to legislate against as far as trans care for kids, when they're trying to say that children are being proselytized to, maybe that's the wrong word, to transition, and we all know as educated people, as people that are informed, that that's not true. No one is telling kids to transition. But when it comes to that sort of care, that will be restricted, and that affects people across the board. Talking about, and I'm also a federal employee, and the thing that scares me also is that they would indeed
have all loyalists, bring in all Trump loyalists, yeah.
And that's the thing that frightened me so much 4 years ago when Trump first entered office, and I saw with my own eyes all of the Trump loyalists that came into positions in administrative positions, people in policy positions. And you know what? 4 years later, they're still there. 8 years later, they are still there. I said 4 years. I meant in 2017, a whole bunch of people came into these offices, all of these, and it wasn't just State Department, and it wasn't just Department of Homeland Security. It was every single agency, okay? And every single agency has policy writers that come in and write policy and rewrite those regulations and rewrite how they serve the American public, and basically how they are not serving the American public. If you can recall what happened with the Department of Agriculture and how they basically gutted the entire research section I'm not going to rehash that, but please don't ask me for sources because it's in the news. I'm not making that up. That's not out of the pants file. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But that guy, what's his name, Purdue, he totally gutted the Department of Agriculture, and
Shit, they gutted every department. Department of
every single
Education, Department of Agriculture, HUD. I mean, like you name it, they gutted it. It was
Department
disgusting.
of Veterans Affairs
Yeah.
now, and I'm a veteran also. Here I
Yeah,
am,
well,
Dawson.
yeah.
And here we are. And Department of Veterans Affairs is now almost entire. You can get more care privately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that comes directly out of the Department of Veterans Affairs coffers. Now, when VA has to pay for your private doctor, they have less money to pay for other veterans' cares within the system. And throughout this, now that dollar has to stretch further. So now they're taking care of fewer veterans, and that's the design. That's the point of the
Because they're going to attempt to privatize the VA. That's they're setting up for.
That's what they're setting up for.
Yeah.
And Wilkie did that. And
go ahead.
apologize. No. I'm trying to say thank you very much for having me, and I'm gonna have some more water and coffee.
Okay.
And thank you once again. I'm gonna keep thinking about that Kevin Samuels takedown because that was gold.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye. Mo Betta, good morning. How are you? If you have some water and say something kind about yourself.
What's up, Jones? Yes, of course. I am hydrated, and listen, I don't say nothing but good things about me because I'm no better. Like, what could I possibly say bad about me? I'm me.
I hear that. I love that energy.
So my rant, my soapbox for today, and this gonna be a live one because I'm hot. And I was hotter just a little bit ago because I am in Houston, Texas. And we all know what just went down in Houston, Texas.
Do you have power and all of that stuff? Are you okay?
We about to get into it. So I came back up with power Monday evening at 6 p.m.
Tap the screen. Go ahead. I'm listening. Do something tap.
I am one of the luckiest of the lucky. Obviously, because there's still so many without power, but I want to go through the details of how this shitastical situation has happened. Because lucky for you, among all my many talents, my Liam Neeson-esque shit, I have worked in infrastructure. I used to work in Reliant, which is one of the power billing companies, but obviously connected to CenterPoint. And I also used to work at Time Warner. So I worked in cable and participated in disaster crisis pre, during, and post recovery planning and all the rest of that. I got out of that because I don't like all that stress. That's yeah, it's a lot. All that to say, the way this was handled, I'm like, yeah, there's way too much pepper in this buttermilk. Like somebody ain't do this right.
Right.
Like something is very, very amiss. Now it has come out, and now I fully understand. And I'm like, listen, if anybody on here out, let's see, 518 of you glorious motherfuckers, if y'all, anybody in Texas, if y'all don't understand the way you need to vote based on what has happened, I don't understand. So, good old Iron-Size Hot Wheels is in Asia for some economic summit, some blah blah blah.
He over there over there selling the Texas government, the state of Texas, to the Taiwanese.
Right. It's like, bruh, and listen, it's not like before he left, he didn't know this was happening. Because listen, hurricanes, they don't sneak up on you. Right. Nobody ever said, oh my God, it was a hurricane. I had no idea. Listen, we know. Okay. So he knew it was happening, and they said, hey, maybe you should stay wheels down, Hot Wheels, and, ride it out with us. He was like, nah, you're going to be all right. Dan Patrick got it. FYI, Dan Patrick don't never have nothing. Okay? Dan Patrick is expert in
He's a lieutenant governor. Yeah. Got it.
Lieutenant governor.
Dan Patrick.
He's expert at not doing whatever job you hand him to do. Okay? Now, Biden... okay, because he is a good leader and he knows that, hey, something fits to go down. So he sent FEMA representatives in advance. Okay, so he could have people at the ready for what he knew was going to happen.
Right.
Dan Patrick been fiddling and whatever this whole time after all of this has happened. And like, and everybody here, we're like, hey, where are the people? Where are the linemen? Where's the recovery? Where are the stations? Nothing. Come to find out, the thing that needed to happen to kick all of the federal recovery, FEMA, all the rest of that is a phone call. You know who didn't make the phone call? Not Abbott, not Dan Patrick. They are sitting around circle jerking and lollygagging, talking about, well, Biden had the people down here, if they need to talk to us, Biden should have called his people and told them to hand us the phone. Are you out of your ever-loving, lily-livered, mealy-mouthed ass mind? Been sitting, hundreds of thousands, millions of people have been suffering. It is 100 degrees down here. You mean to tell me you have sat and let people be delayed in getting help because y'all are having a phallus measuring contest, essentially.
Right.
I don't want to. No, you kneel before Zod is essentially what we're doing. I don't want to make the call. You call him. No, you call him. No, you call him. No, you call him. The protocol, because remember, this is states' rights.
That's right.
The federal government can't come in here and do nothing unless we say that you can come in. So you have to make the call, sir. You can't just step up. If Biden had rushed in and over them, they would have had a whole Republican MAGA tantrum. So they had to wait. And literally, as they had that phone call, and the hounds of Baskerville couldn't have run faster the way Biden snapped his fingers and made everybody walk in one band, one sound. And now all of the things have been released. Now it's Thursday, people. Come on. This is the literal height of entitlement. It is the height of elitism. It is the height of classism. The only people right now that are doing okay are the motherfuckers with generators. You know what you gotta have a generator? Money. I don't have a damn generator. I got money. I don't have one of them. Because I got to do too much to help all the rest of my family live on a daily basis.
And you got it. Like, even if you have a generator, right? Like, even if you actually have a generator, if the storm is bad enough and, you don't have access to get the fuel for your generator, then it's
exactly.
It's a moot point.
All of that part. Yeah, and Money Mike, they want Biden to look bad, it seems, exactly, because now the rhetoric that they're giving is, well, he could have done. No, he couldn't do anything because of the way the protocol is structured, that the states have to ask first.
Houston is a democratic city, right?
I'm sorry?
Houston is a democratic city, right? And they trying to restrict voting, right?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It does like being a democratic city didn't stop them from coming in and removing their entire school board.
Listen. Okay? Not only didn't stop them from removing polling locations.
From Third Ward.
Okay?
From Third Ward. You right.
Okay. I didn't see you were back there, Trail. Did you hear about that shit they pulled?
Yeah, I heard about all that. I also know about we were just talking about Abbott in Taiwan in South Korea, and the fact that Taiwan, Japan, and the fact that Biden had to beg Greg Abbott. He's been begging Greg Abbott to ask for help. Seriously.
They've been playing phone tag. They literally, so Biden's been calling Patrick and Abbott. They've been ignoring his phone calls.
Yes, and so now people, I'm going to report to y'all that they are now starting to open up stadiums like we in some kind of war, to let people come in to get AC on and lay down on cots and get free Wi-Fi. While my part of town just got assessed, not brought back up, assessed today. I'm sitting up here in the most humiliating part, and I'm gonna say this low. I'm sitting at my ex-wife's house, and every time her boyfriend comes, I have to leave like I'm some kind of child.
Dan Trail, hit me in the message, bro. Cause I have power. I'm up and running.
Okay.
Yeah, you need somewhere. Come sit. You go and hit me up, bro. You ain't gotta leave like that. I ain't gonna let you go out like that, bro.
I'm peeking around corners. Is he coming? Is he coming? I'm 50 years old, y'all. Come on now.
Nah, that's right. But listen, bro, the cost of admission. Listen, you got to bring that bottle with you.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring I'll bring a whole case now. Don't.
Yeah, you got to bring that good shit with you. But yeah, you ain't got to leave like that. I ain't gonna let you be out in the heat like that. But see how ridiculous this is.
Yes.
So y'all, let me explain to you the way that the cadence of this has always run. And please understand, the storm that happened here, it was a Cat 1. It was on the dirty side, which means it's more wind than rain. And Houston historically, and I'm a native. I'll be 49 in December. I have literally rode out every single storm for the duration of my life in this city. I am an OG to this. And I drove during Tropical Storm Allison. That's how cold I am with it. Okay? So they should have been gearing up and staging this the week before. Linemen should have been deployed and waiting and staged days before this. That's how this is usually done. All of the cutting and trimming services for the trees on those power lines, all of that equipment, all of those crews are usually staged ahead of time. They don't even have hotels and places for the crews that are here to do this work to be. These men are sleeping in these trucks. These men don't even have food and water for the work that they're doing. That's how ill conceived and controlled all of these efforts are. That's how ridiculous this is.
Yes. And on top of that, y'all, I need y'all to recognize that our grid with ERCOT is so funky that even though this is the first hurricane of the season, since the beginning of May, this is the 5th time my area has lost power.
Oh, it's even worse than that. So Texas actually, here's where I see what Texas and Abbott and all of them are doing as far as the grid. They don't intend to have a grid. They're pushing the grid to us. That's why they have these solar panels, and that's why they're pushing these generators. Because as a Houston native, 15, 20 years ago, Nobody, generators were a super high grade luxury item. That was not an utter necessity. Unless there was a storm that literally leveled the town, power restoration was not an epic issue like this.
Yeah, I gotta go today and empty out my refrigerator and my freezer so it don't, get rancid up in there. I gotta do that. Um, I may go try to get a storage for my paintings because I worry because I'm newly divorced. So I stay in a apartment complex. So my whole thing is I worry because the apartment complex, because of no power, is empty, and I worry I got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of paintings in my apartment. So
Yeah.
I worry that while I'm gone, someone is gonna because it's unattended.
Right.
But the good thing is I'm on the assessed map. We got assessed yesterday, so that may mean we may get power today. I don't know. But yeah, this is horrible, y'all. I'm really thinking about moving, and I love Houston. You know, Mo better. I love Houston
Thank you, Brookie.
from Friendswood all the way down the Southwest, all the way up to Greens Point, all the way across to Cypress and Katy. I love this place. It made me, but I may be leaving it because if not because of the cities, y'all. I need y'all to understand something about Texas politics. The rural towns hold these cities hostage when it comes to politics. We are held hostage by our rural towns because our major cities like Austin, Texas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas. These are Democrat strongholds, but it's the counties outside that hold us hostage and vote these people in. And then on top of that, Greg Abbott, he got back in office on just point blank cheating, y'all. Yeah, we know it. Mo better, we know it. We know he did.
Oh, but Dan Trail, check this out though. Here's what I'm seeing right now. So the lack of humanity in most of these people. So number one, do you know people actually put their trash out on Monday? They put their heavy trash out on Monday morning.
Like somebody was gonna come get it. Yes, I saw it.
Bro. And also what I'm also seeing is people are complaining, and there are some reports of people actually now going up to these workers and confronting them when they see them like in their trucks, like they're on break or they're sleeping or like just not working.
That's horrible.
Like
That's
confronting
horrible.
and arguing with them. But well, because people know power. They don't know what's going on. They don't know everything. So in my mind, they're starting to test the temerity of the population.
Yeah, these people, y'all make no mistake. Centerpoint energy workers and people coming in to help. These people are heroes. It's them. It's the people who actually make the decisions that are messing it up. It's not them. They're working without hours, without water, without food, and anything else like that. So I applaud them. I feel like when I see their trucks rolling down the street, I feel like they're like heroes. They're doing what they got to do. It's the leadership that's messing up. It's the y'all think Democrat. When you hear people say, "Well, it's a Democrat city," no, the state runs the funds. The state runs the funds.
Yeah, it absolutely goes to the state because of the Stafford Act. Governors have to be the ones that contact FEMA. Normally, they have to give like a primary damage assessment prior to contacting, but in the event of a major disaster like a hurricane, they can forego that PDA. But the governors or the lieutenant governor in this particular case have to be the ones to initiate that process with FEMA. So the federal government could have had everyone and their mom there waiting, but until the governor or lieutenant governor contacted them to say, okay, hey, we have a disaster, let's go, because of the process, they're just going to sit around and sit on their hands until Texas or Florida or whomever does what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. And the way that this normally runs, they normally stage and designate multiple hotels to house these workers while this effort is going on. They didn't do that, and it's so.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this is literally, again, this is the tester. And so when people start talking about, yeah, we're going to stand up, we got our 2A, the government can't, listen, the government literally snapped their fingers and shut your shit off. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And then what you're going to do? You're going to be howling and prowling, sweating and crying. That's exactly what you see now.
And is there local coverage that's covering this? Are you guys seeing that on the media at all? Like, I know on national news, we're not seeing any coverage, you know?
No, they're trying to keep it hush hush, but Houston is a disaster area. People are, this is the scariest part in Houston right now is driving, because there are lights that are out. And the deputy sheriffs and the law enforcement are not directing traffic. They have abandoned directing traffic and leaving it up to the drivers.
Oh no, but they're giving tickets. I have seen people stop. I've seen cops stopping people and giving them tickets, bro.
So when I go out for eat, as I pray that I'm gonna make it home. I've been almost hit by at least 24 times because people don't know how to follow protocol when it comes to an intersection.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
But you can get a speeding ticket.
So, what I'm gonna say is, if anyone is in Houston and they have like renters insurance or anything like that, hotels may be booked up in the area, but if you can get to another area outside, you may be able to ask them to book a hotel. They may cover the lost food. They may cover additional expenses. You just have to log it and make them aware that, hey, you were in this area. So if you have renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, you may want to call them to ask them what type of coverage you may have outside of mortgage company, outside of your homeowners. But any renters, they won't. The only thing they'll cover is your personal property, as far as the building goes, if that's your apartment.
Right now, Black Historian, the closest, the people are going all the way from here to Austin and San Antonio for hotels. They don't even have any located in between those cities.
And Dallas.
And yeah, in Dallas, my mom actually lives in Dallas. I've been trying to stay from going there because I'm due there for her birthday next week.
I'd rather be in Dallas than up under ex-wife with a unnecessary roommate.
Well, like I said, I told myself today, worst case scenario, I was gonna head to Dallas if it's not turned on today, or I'll probably go to Mo Better and show up with some fine alcohol, and we just.
Hey, listen, I got a deep freeze full of food, and I can cook. You know.
Whoa.
Listen, I got a pot of black eyed peas that I'm cooking today right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna inbox you.
I just put them on the something water.
I'm gonna inbox you.
Raina, thank you for the $20 Cash App, and Tina, thank you for the $10 Venmo. I appreciate it. And Skippy, I don't know if you heard me or not, but thank you as well. So you guys know that Biden is doing a press conference today, right?
5:30.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's at what time?
Pennsylvania, right?
5:30, I believe.
5:30.
Yeah. Mr. Jones, I'm going to say something, then I got to get back to these feet. I work for a foot doctor.
Oh, I was like, hold on, what? What did she say?
Yeah. I work for a podiatrist.
Ain't no fucking way. There's a lot of things that I just couldn't do, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot worse. There is a lot worse than feet. I'm gonna say that. There
Being
is.
a dentist, that's like the only other.
2 feet.
Yeah. So I wanted to say something real quick to the white trans person who came up talking about they couldn't vote. That's your white privilege entitlement.
No, they didn't say that. No, they didn't say that. They didn't say they couldn't vote. They said it's hard to convince their friends.
Oh. Well, I misheard that entirely. I thought they said that they could not vote. Well, they said they would vote for third party.
No, they didn't say either of those things. They didn't say either of those things.
No,
they didn't. No.
Well, I take that back entirely, but That's all I got to say then.
She was about to light them up.
I was.
They
I
didn't
was
say-
very much so going to light them up for that
They
shit.
didn't say
Yes.
either one of those things.
Well, then I recant. I take that back. I appreciate the vote.
No problem.
But,
You can drop me
well,
now.
All
Got to
right.
go deal with these feet.
Pablo, what's going on, bro? I don't know if you had an opportunity to speak or not. We've kind of been all over the place. But have you had some water, said something kind about yourself?
Yes, lots of water, and I've been trying to do the daily affirmations. Just this morning. I mean, I rise today in support of my sister, the Black historian, because of just like how disappointed I have been in like different creators who are platforming people like Jill Stein and talking about third party stuff like they've never heard anything about politics or elections before, and it kind of shows. Like they don't understand the damage that happened in 2000, the 529 votes in Florida that then flipped it off from Gore to Bush. What the world could have been if we had like a decent president in the White House during 9/11. We can only just dream about, and then compound that within 2016 with just like the last minute like 2-minute warning change from Comey with like the butter emails type of stuff, and now we are learning from our mistakes, and I feel like we're just careening off the cliff. So like I haven't been like sleeping well. Not just because like I'm a new father, but just like the fact that I am a new father, like everything's just been heightened. And I'm quite frankly like crumbling a bit, and it sucks because it's affecting more than just me. I mean, my wife is an immigrant, and technically, if this Project 2025 thing pops off and it's all correct in what they say, me, myself, I will no longer be a citizen because of birthright citizenship. I am 35 years old. I was born here, but of immigrant parents. My father was a Marine who was born in Algeria and was able to get citizenship through military service. But even despite all of that, having paid taxes every single year since I started working at 16, 19 years ago, despite owning property, I would no longer be a citizen of the United States. And so it's just, man, like I don't fully understand why people
He would
aren't
no
just-
longer be a citizen of the United States.
Yeah, true, yeah. It's just like such a weird hypocrisy that like the people aren't really looking at like just if somebody says to you, "Hey, I'm gonna drive this car super fast into a wall," like kind of believe them, like because
Oh no, I
you aren't the ones
apologize.
driving.
Fred was born. Fred was born here. It was his grandmother and grandfather that came over here from Germany.
Oh yeah, from it was like Durf. Or what's his last name?
Trump.
Like
Trump.
Trump.
Trump. Yeah. Hold on one second.
But like I like and
His dad's
and
middle name is Christ. That's crazy.
is it? Oh man, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. But like the effects of 2016 got us 4 unqualified Supreme Court justices for life. And the people who are on there, like Clarence Thomas, who are telling us that he wants to get rid of things like Obergefell, and even going as far as saying that he wants to try to overturn Loving, which is mind-blowing, as he is somebody who is in an interracial marriage himself. I cannot believe that people are not just thinking, like, maybe they're actually going to do it, because what was that, like 8 years ago, where Hillary Clinton said, if Trump gets elected, he's going to put in Supreme Court justices that will overturn Roe. And it was like, oh, no, it's not going to happen. Like, oh, that's like fear mongering. And then it freaking happened. Come on, like they're telling you of what's going on. They're giving you a neon sign, And then people are like, well, this entire demographic has been completely trustworthy up until this point. There's absolutely no reason why people in power will definitely take away rights from marginalized groups. That fucking never happens. But yet, it's going to happen. And to have Jill Stein come onto TikTok and say that Project 2025 is a scare tactic to have you vote Democrat is mind blowing. Like what Sister Historian said, like you're trying like you're advocating for a 74-year-old old white lady, but you're also then saying that these two old white dudes aren't qualified. It's just so weird. If you're voting third party, you're being irresponsible. If you're voting third party in a swing state, you're being dangerous. And if not, scratch that, not if, when this goes through in a way that's not going to be happy for y'all, don't come to us for help, because we'll turn around and say, we told y'all. We have learned this stuff. Y'all are listening to the people who have lived it, who have studied it. We are the experts that you go for like the pro-Palestinian lives, asking to use our expertise, our subject matter expert, our hard work. But when we have one small thing that goes in disalignment for what you want to have, you then slap us and say, no, you're misinformed, you're like blue MAGA. We're going to remember that stuff. We won't forget. And it's just, man, like,
Yeah.
just like LeVar Burton said recently in a TV show, man, I am absolutely your friend, but I am absolutely filled with rage.
And for her to say, well, Project 2025 has been going on for a long time. Yeah, they have to implement the foundation, but for them to complete it, they need to do this election maybe a little bit more. And for her to say that it's a scare tactic, for them to turn around and say that project we're using 2025 as a scare tactic, no, it's fact.
Yeah.
And to hear her talk and just dodge questions, I just get infuriated when I hear them saying they're going to vote for her. They have to vote their conscience. Well, they shouldn't have participated in any election prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
None.
Like overturning Chevron was on the list.
Mm-hmm.
When you get rid of a whole litany of subject matter experts that help interpret and enforce laws within the regulatory authorities, you are getting rid of all the scientists, all of the structural engineers, all the forensic accountants like myself who specialize in like anti-money laundering to make sure that people don't steal your life in front of you. Like that's the stuff that they've been telling you that's going to happen. And when it happens, you're like, well, I don't really, I mean, like, let's just see if the leopards won't eat my face.
Right. Hey, Blondie.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Hey, nurse lady. How are you? Have you had some water? Say something kind about yourself?
Of course.
Glad to hear it.
I just wanted to add on to part of that. You said, people who say they're not going to vote because they don't know which old white guy they should vote for.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to vote for president, that's fine. But please try to encourage them to go and vote down ballot.
Absolutely that.
Because even, like I said, even if they don't want to do POTUS, the down ballot is so freaking important.
Like, that's our backstop. I've been saying that since we got on this morning. That's our backstop. I've been saying that for the last, I don't know how many months. Make sure that you are voting on the state and local level. There's tons and tons of seats open. There's so many of them that go unopposed. So if you're in a city and run, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever you can to get involved in the system. Otherwise, you can't complain.
I mean, I'm in Texas, and I'm shocked as all hell that POS Abbott has been stopped with his voucher program. Is it 4 times still? Because the majority of the people in the Texas legislature are Republican, but they have still stopped him. Thank God.
I was gonna say, I did say, if y'all think Trump is gonna get elected, you don't want to vote for president, at least vote down ballot Democratic so that he can't get anything passed. At least know your Democratic candidates. They's like, nope, I'm a Republican through and through, so I can't do that. But you don't want Trump elected and you don't want him passing policies. At least vote to where there will be some type of stronghold on his policies that he wants to implement. They don't even want to do that. So that tells me you don't care about anybody else but yourself. And like I told people, I'm 54 years old. I'm no longer like voting for myself.
Right. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not making decisions for me right now. I have a rack of kids. I'm making decisions for my children, you know, for the future of this country, for, you know, people in the queer community. This is looking forward. You know, when I was much younger, I was not as, as astute, right? In terms of like, how the political system operated. I mean, I knew the basics. I know how a bill got passed. I knew the 3 branches of government, you know, so on and so forth. And my dad, listen, when I tell you, my mom and dad, they would literally take off of work on election day. They just wouldn't go to work. Fuck what the job had to say. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they made sure that they could get, that there was nothing that was going to stop them from getting to the ballot. You know what I'm saying? To the ballot box. Nothing. Now, I'm not saying everybody has the privilege of doing that. I'm just saying that's what my parents did. And, you know, as much as I paid attention to it, I didn't really understand, like, the impact. And I, like some people today, thought, you know, like if the gas prices went up, I would be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? The president fucked around and made the gas prices go up. But this is when I was way younger. This is when I'm in my early 20s, right? But I don't think that people have an understanding of how like legislation that is passed right now, you know, has impact over the course of the next 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years, you know, and even longer. Or, you know what I'm saying, like the possibility of the next president being able to select 3 new SCOTUSes. Especially those of you, you know what I'm saying, like who consider yourself leftist, right? You know, like I'm so anti, like if there was a way that we could eliminate government in its entirety and have people, you know what I'm saying, like just the people, solely the people, make these determinations in terms of like voting for the legislation that we believe should be in power, and then also choosing the people that we have carry out said legislation or enforce it, so on and so forth. That would be the better framework, I think, for us now. However, that's not the system that we live in, and there's nothing that I am singularly going to be able to do to change that. And so with that being said, if you are a leftist, understand that if there's 3 more conservative judges put into SCOTUS, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And you know,
we'll never be able to have a conversation about leftist ideologies or leftist anything.
again,
And even furthermore, this person right here said that he was going to, you know what I'm saying, make it part of his mission to go after leftists, Marxists, communists, so on and so forth within, you know, American society. He said we need to rid them like the vermin that they are. Do y'all not remember the speech?
I do.
And he'll weaponize justice departments across the world. And if they take down like platforms like TikTok, I mean, they'll literally have people seeking it out on social media, in the workplace, you know, especially, I mean, like, I don't think that you guys understand the implications.
Yeah, and I know that if Biden gets elected again, I'll be ground roots, going door to door until I'm in a wheelchair to get every freaking Democrat out of office that spoke out against Biden's age and not targeting Trump and that he's saying, or as well as even targeting these companies that are still having headquarters in these states that are pushing restrictive legislation. My thing is, why aren't they talking about the companies that's actually paying money into these states that are still restricting women's rights? But I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna drop. These companies are playing both sides. Because they'll sit here and say, oh, we're for equity and inclusion, but to their stockholders, they're saying a totally different story. And they're doing it politically behind the scenes. So if you don't own stock in your company, because some of them have company matching funds, look at some of the stuff that they ask their stockholders to vote on. And you'll see that they're playing both sides. They're saying this in public to look good, but on stockholder side, they're saying, hey, do you want to include this in your make it public? And stockholders get to vote on that shit. So I'm just saying, get stock in your company, know what they're saying behind the scenes, because they're not doing it. They're not saying what they're doing in public. It's just a, what do you call it, performative and a promo move.
Hey, yo, I'm about to upload this new emote. This shit is fucking hilarious. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in real time, though, and it kind of makes me sad. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this. Hopefully I can. Sorry.
And Jones, while you're doing that, I want to say something. I said it in the comments.
Go ahead.
I hate Abbott.
Thank you,
Hate
Vivian.
him with a passion. But I was asked by another person who was in a wheelchair to please stop calling him Hot Wheels.
You've never heard me say that. I don't say that.
No. And I heard it when I first came on, and no judgment on the person who said it. I used to call him that. He is the biggest piece of crap ever. I hate him so much.
I just don't tell other people, you know what I'm saying, what to say most of the time. I just don't.
The way that they explained it to me was that...
No, I get it. It's ableist as shit. There's no need to explain it.
Well, and they feel like people already see them as less of a person. So to attack him based on that...
No, I didn't.
They asked me to stop, and I said I would share that information if I ever heard it again. I still catch myself because I hate him. I think he should be forced to swim across the Rio Grande with all the crap that he put in there. See if he can get across it.
Right.
Just saying.
And I think
I don't disagree with you. Like I said, you don't hear me say it. I don't say it.
No. And like I said, no judgment, but I also try to get the word out because, like I said, when that person explained it to me in that way, I was like, I get it. I will help as much as I can because that's not cool.
And I think that's what separates us, like between the Democrats and the Republicans, is like we won't go that low, or when we see that, we will call it out. But on the flip side, like it's just constant inundation of just ableism, misogyny, racism. So it's good to call that out. I agree with you.
Can you guys see if it's in there? Hold on, let me see if I can do it. I just added it, so let me see if I can do it. But yeah, I don't disagree with you. How do I comment? Oh, there we go. Where are my emotes? Oh, y'all got it. Ha ha ha.
What does it say?
Bigot bangers.
My eyes.
It's something that I said the other day, that I made up the other day.
Thanks for having me up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks.
Somebody said that
Rocks
with slurs on him. Rocks with slurs on him is crazy. But yeah, like I said, I think that people need to understand. Yeah, the lady made up the rocks with whatchamacallits on them. Yeah, the rocks with slurs on it. I said we'll call them bigot bangers. But she said rocks with slurs on them, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't think that it makes sense for. I have not found them. I looked everywhere. The right time, Calypso. I don't know if you were here earlier when I talked about it. The right time was 6 years ago. The right time is now, 6 years from now. The right time is quite literally putting together as many progressive candidates as we can and local and federal levels seats, congressional seats, so that they can, work their way up through the ranks over the next 6 years. and then we back them. You know, we get them as much media attention as possible. We put our money behind them because this, like last election, the Biden campaign spent over $2 billion. This election cycle, they're estimated to spend $10 billion. Like this person would have to have a ton, and I mean a ton, of resources behind them, and we don't have anybody who has that. There has to be a person that can get on the debate stage with whoever the other two candidates are, and that's the time. The time is when we can get a person on the debate stage and national media attention. It doesn't matter how many states they're on the ballot of, they have to be in the media. If nobody, like, who's gonna, it doesn't matter if I put, you know what I'm saying, like my name on the ballot in all 50 states. If nobody's ever heard me speak, why would they vote for me?
That's a good point.
Why would they vote for me? What difference does it make how many ballots I'm on if nobody knows who I am?
Mm-hmm.
I could be on every single ballot in every single state. If you don't know who the fuck I am, why would you vote for me? If you've never heard of me, if you don't know what my policies are, if you've never seen me, debate, if you don't know, like what my previous voting history was, if you don't know, like where I stood on policies historically, if you don't know anything about me, why would you vote for me?
The other thing I came up here to say is, Dontrell, I'm in San Antonio, and anybody else who might be in Houston, if there's anything I can do for you guys, please reach out and let me know.
Now, like I said, you can find a candidate, and there's a ton of people, that I really like. But if you can find $2 billion and a way to get them on the main debate stage with Trump and Biden, I'll literally be boots on the ground for them every day. I'll literally put all of my energy into it, all of it.
And is it fair to kind of be critical of just how many third party options there are? Because
no, because I mean, if we looked at like the UK, there's 30 parties.
So like it's kind of mislabeled to say that like it is just a third party candidate when like the person that the person wants to choose may not be the third option. Like when someone says third party, people have like 7 different options or like 7 different people in mind. So it's not really a third option. You're just thinking of just splitting up the left for like the people who are thinking like, oh, like either Marianne or Jill Stein or West or Cenk Uygur, or there's just way too many.
Yeah, there's
like if there's like a combination.
There's Jasmine Sherman. There's what's the Latin woman's name?
I forget her name too.
Didn't we address that issue though? You have to have $2 billion in order to run for president, or they won't put you on the debate stage.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
Claudia de la Cruz.
Yeah, Claudia. Yes, that's right, Claudia.
Also, like RFK. I mean, like he's a third party candidate. I mean, like one of the 10 we just listed off.
Chase Oliver is the Libertarian. I mean, RFK couldn't even get on the debate stage.
Mm-hmm. And he's a Kennedy.
Yeah, nobody was trying to hear him.
But who's in charge of that?
We are the people.
I thought it was the media.
Yeah,
They're
the
ones
media.
refusing. Yeah,
they refused to put them on the stage because they don't have the resources to make a legitimate run.
but once again, so you have to be rich or know people
let's see.
in order to run for president.
How much did the Biden campaign spend last election?
I'm going to butcher this person's name because it looks like it should be Thomas, but it's with an I. No, if you have a lot of money, they will put you up there. Oh God, his name just slipped my mind. The independent guy in the 90s.
Gary Johnson.
No,
No, he's talking about Ross
Ross
Perot.
Perot.
Ross Perot.
Ross
He had a
yeah.
crap ton of money, and he is the only independent I have ever seen
Yeah,
get
because
on
he
the
could fund it. He spent 300. I think he spent like 300 million. Last year, just in media alone, last election cycle. Sorry, not last year. Just in media alone, the Biden campaign spent almost $1 billion, 839 million. Just in media alone.
And honestly, I think that's why there's a war against like social media, because hypothetically speaking, we could get somebody's name out there across all social media platforms who isn't a billionaire and can't and won't pay the media billions of dollars.
And I think people should start that process on January 21st, 2025.
I agree.
From like day one, yeah.
100%.
Get that person out there, have them do a press conference, vet them, grow them, but be consistent and like unite behind a third party candidate. Because like y'all are not splitting the Republican votes; they're just blindly falling the world off a cliff. It's like the third party candidates are only splitting the left side.
I remember looking into this, and this was a long time ago, but it's literally the media running that. It's the media running those debates.
Yeah, the DNC. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, they're the ones determining who gets attention.
Yeah. The DNC spent $2.1 billion in the 2020 race.
Imagine the stuff you could fix with $2.1 billion. I mean, you could probably fix the grid in Texas. You can do a lot of stuff with that money.
You could totally fix the grid, but Abbott won't do it.
Yeah. How many eligible voters didn't vote in the 2020 election? 80 million. 80 million people didn't vote in the 2020 election. Only 67% of eligible voters voted. That's the other problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, people just aren't getting involved.
But why are we allowing our media to determine who gets the publicity and who gets their name, quote unquote, known? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Hey, what's up, Charlie? Sorry, I got distracted by a text message. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I was just waiting for everybody to.
Have you had some water and said something kind about yourself?
I drink lots of water now. Thank you, Mr. Jones, because you remind me every morning. I have a hard time saying kind things about myself because it makes me feel weird, but I can say something kind about you.
No, you have to say it about yourself, but I do. I have that same issue. I have a hard time doing it too. That's why
It makes me feel weird.
That's why I started doing it.
Like tooting my own horn. Like, it's much easier for me to say kind things about other people than it is myself.
I hear that.
It just makes me feel. I'm a good mom.
There you
I'm
go.
a good
See,
mom.
There you go. It wasn't that hard. Hold on.
I'm a good
hey,
mom.
Samuel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the $50 Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate you tremendously.
Oh, thank you, Law Bish. I love you. But yeah. So a lot of people in the room know that I am a Jasmine Sherman supporter.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been since 2021. I've even worked on the campaign for a little while. I understand what everybody is saying about third parties, and I totally get it. And I'm having a hard time with this, Mr. Jones. I'm having a really, really hard time with this.
Yeah, me and Joe Biden talked about it for a long time the other day.
I am so. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay. And like I think it was Nurse Lady J who was just talking about how the media gets to portray Oh, excuse me, my phone is. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How the media gets to portray who gets heard and who doesn't get heard. It's very frustrating, especially working for a third party candidate. And I've said this 1,000 times, how we are ignored by the media. It doesn't matter how many emails and letters and like practically begging to be heard, we get ignored because we're third party. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Jasmine is a femme presenting Black person. And that has a lot to do with it. But I'm having such a hard time with this because, especially after the last Supreme Court hearing, whatever they call it, just came out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do come November.
Well, that's
And I am a supporter of Jasmine. And I am
that's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, thank you, Priscilla Raid. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, after these last Supreme Court rulings, the immunity, the Chevron, you know what I'm saying, overturning the Chevron ruling. And then, you know, like knowing that they plan on getting, like, having probably two of them step down and appointing three and possibly expanding the court. I can't put my life, the life of my children, and the life of my loved ones that are in the queer community. I can't.
No, yeah, I get it. I have a daughter. I also have a trans daughter who's 22, and her life is literally being questioned right now, her existence. I'm frustrated. I'm sad, and more than anything, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that I don't get to have a voice.
So, hey, Mr. Jones. Hey, Charlie, Nurse, and Pablo. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Emily. Emily, you didn't get introduced? I'm sorry.
No. It's okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Really quick. I don't want to interrupt you, but really quick, just so I can tell the people in the comments, don't shame people for how they vote. That's not okay. That's not okay. Let's not do that. Like, I understand where you're coming from. We all get it. But you're supposed to vote your conscience, and people get to make that choice, whether you like it or not. People get to make that choice, and it's not okay to shame people. It's not okay to do that. Y'all get off Calypso and get off me, because I just said that I don't know what I'm going to do come November. I might have to vote for fucking Biden, which pisses me off. I am so sick and tired of putting white men in charge of my bodily autonomy and the way my life is lived. So please stop shaming us. Please stop doing that. Thank you. Go ahead, Emily. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm sick of old white men too. And funny story, my mom, who is 70, how old is my mom?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
75 the other day. She's an old hippie. And she said, everything that's wrong with this country is because of old white men.
Facts.
And I said, yes.
Well, shit, everything's wrong with the whole world.
So, right. So this is I have a daughter who's 25. I'm 44, just as a frame of reference. And she was a communist long before I discovered Mr. Jones and became a communist, because I'm pretty sure I'm a communist now. And she really wants to vote for Cornel West. We're in a red state. And we were just having this conversation about, I said, okay, so this is what I came up with in my head the other day. The easiest way to explain this. Like, imagine you have a home, and in the back room of your home is I don't know how to say this in TikTok friendly language, a hunk of metal that will go boom and destroy everything if it gets disturbed, okay? And the front of your house is on fire. are you going to go, oh, well, the front of my house is on fire and the fire department isn't answering the phone, and I have this water hose here, but I'm not going to be able to put out this fire with this water hose before it gets to the thing that's going to really destroy my house. Like, that's how this feels right now. And with like the especially the Trump supporters who can't see how they are systematically putting things in place so that day one, he can just start running our shit into the ground more than it already is. And, I am in a position in my life where I'm pretty safe. But I'm voting for other people. Like the preamble to the Constitution says we the people, not me the people. And, you have just got to, everybody has just got to look at the big picture. And like last night, I was listening to a live and this girl was just going off. And she's like, well, then just don't vote. Just don't vote. I will never tell someone not to vote. Nope. Just like I'm
just
not going to shame.
Make sure you're voting in your local and state elections.
Right.
Elections.
I'm not going to shame anybody for voting third party. But like, there's just so much at stake. And unless you are an independently wealthy, old, white, cisgender, heterosexual man, at some point, there will be a ripple of what he's trying to do that will negatively impact your life. And, anyway, the real reason I wanted to get up here, Jones, is to tell you that I loved your article. And
appreciate that.
I loved that you mentioned culturally relevant pedagogy and teaching, because I like to do things that are kind of subversive, like just to be an asshole. And, culturally relevant teaching shares an acronym with critical race theory. And I like to get people all wound up over that.
That's
and
why
I go, no. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's why I use it.
Yeah, I love it. So anyway, when I listened to Bones earlier, I was starting to get like a pit in my chest, and then I saw you, and I was like boohoo crying.
Yeah, me
on
too.
a Thursday on my vacation. But as I was reading your article, I was like jotting down notes, and then I realized that I was pretty much just handwriting the entire article, because I was like, so my plan, I think, is to print it out and just, put some reminders for me in strategic places. It was just well done.
I stayed up, like, cause I read, I like was asked all the questions, sent them in a format, right? And then I read it all, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get back to you. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever it is that I had to say, I wanted to make sure that I could articulate it in a manner, you know what I'm saying, that I covered all of the points and didn't leave anything out, and didn't have to go back and be like, man, I wish I would have said, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the internet's forever too, and you don't want to say some dumb shit, and then it's there forever.
But I stayed up the day before it was supposed to be submitted. I stayed up like all night long.
I bet you did.
And haven't been sleeping much or well since yesterday until it came out. And it came out right.
Yeah, but
right
it's brilliant, man.
Right when we were walking into the restaurant last night for dinner, it dropped. And so I sat down after we had, while we were waiting to get our food. I sat down and started reading it, and I just was crying at the table.
I bet. I mean, it's a big deal. Like, congratulations. I am proud to say that I know that you exist, and I have learned so much from you, and continue to learn. And I can't wait until we get the reading of the article from Bone. I'll probably have it on repeat in my AirPods
Right.
But and I'm so glad that you mentioned the amygdala response, because that's something I've found that's a really powerful thing. Like when you can say to people, like, which I can say,
We
as a
watched it
white
with
person,
the lady when we were trying to talk to her about, being a landlord the other day.
yeah,
We
yeah,
watched
and
it in action.
as a white person who like I've felt that, and it sucks. Like it's scary almost, especially if you have, I have PTSD due to several things, but when you have underlying issues with your fight or flight response, and then on top of it you're subjecting yourself purposefully to being made uncomfortable, by figuring out that it's a really powerful thing to be able to say to somebody, okay, this is the reason you feel angry right now, like this is why you feel threatened right now. That's a really powerful thing to be able to identify that for them and say, like, there's nothing wrong with you. This is normal. This is why. And I just appreciated that you mentioned that. But anyway, I'm going to hop down because I need to go somewhere so I can get some schoolwork done, because I can't do it at my house. But I'll be listening, and I appreciate you, and everybody have a good day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I was going to add, I have 3 sons, and there's a lot of times where I've had to tell them, hey, I know these feelings are big. And
yeah,
and
you have a big feelings right now.
well, but I mean, like, one of my middle son has a friend who tried to erase himself from the earth with like 2 weeks left of school. And he came into my room, not going to get emotional. And I could see it written all over his face. He didn't know how to express anything that he was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally hugged him like, it's okay to cry. Many adults don't know how to deal with this. It's okay to be confused. It's scary. And not knowing what to do is scary as hell.
Yeah.
I find it very aggravating that in 2024, we have to choose the lesser of two evils because the political system doesn't make way or make room for not evil. I find it very frustrating that in the United States of America, we have to pick Joe Biden, or else we have fascism. That is fucking ridiculous. And I'm just voicing my frustrations. I'm sorry. It's just stupid. It's stupid that I'm so frustrated. And as a black person, I feel like my ancestors are fucking screaming in my ear, like, what is happening?
I feel that
But
frustration.
like I said, we've put ourselves in this situation, and we continue to put ourselves in this situation, and it is like it's imperative, right? Like it literally is imperative that we start getting actively involved in our communities, in our state political landscape. Because if you're not, then you are, what I'm saying, to blame. Like, how can you ask for a voice if whilst not participating or being a voice for yourself? You are your own best advocate. Who can advocate for what you want and need better than you?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of fortunate because I live in New York and I do vote locally. I just voted for Jamal Bowman. I do vote locally. Because that was just something that was ingrained in me as a child. My father was a Vietnam vet, and he made sure that I knew that my voice, me voting was a privilege because my ancestors stood on the front line so that I could do so. So that was something that he very much ingrained in me. So I do vote locally. I am lucky enough to live in a place where if I decided to choose to vote third party, it really wouldn't probably count anyway. I live in New York City. It's always gone Democrat. I'm just, and then I know that the rest of the world is frustrated. We all sit here and we have these conversations every single day. We're all pissed off. I just, I want to see change before I leave this earth, and I don't see it. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I think it's because I haven't taken my medicine yet this morning, but that's because I haven't eaten yet this morning. So I get a little emotional. It's my ADD and my autism and my social anxiety get to fucking arguing in my head, and it makes me fucking emotional for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just so pissed off and frustrated. And I sit in this live every single day and I listen to you talk, Mr. Jones, and I want you to know that it's not bouncing off, going in one ear and out the other. I understand. I understand the significance of this election. It's just, when are we gonna say enough is enough, bro?
Like today, like literally, we should be working on 2028. Who's gonna be who's gonna be our candidate for 2028, and how do we get there?
Jesus Christ, I don't fucking know.
We should have been working on this 2 years ago.
I know I keep saying vote down ballot, but my honest opinion, we need to start flooding every local election with not
Progressive
Democrats and
candidates.
Republicans.
Progressive candidates.
I'm independent. I've always been independent.
So am I.
I hate the two-party fucking system. Excuse my French. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was in the military for 11 years. It just happens. But that's...
Listen, I curse a lot, so you're not gonna like.
Same.
I curse a lot.
I've even told my kids they're not bad words; they're adult words.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I tell my kids.
I don't even tell my children they're not allowed to curse. I said, just don't curse at people, and we're fine.
I tell them are adult words because they have to know when and where to say them. And while they're still young, they don't understand that place yet. But my two older ones are in middle school and they're allowed to cuss with me.
I just told my 6-year-old the other day that the only time she's allowed to curse is when she stubs her toe.
That's a legitimate place.
Because when you stub your toe, if you cuss, sometimes it makes the pain go away a little bit.
I need to get the shirt. I need to get the shirt that says swearing might help.
My dad used to say that curse words are like hot sauce. They're like, you can use it, it might be too much, and it may not be for some, but sometimes it's worth it.
Facts. But anyway, I think we need literally, the Republicans have been working on this ever since Roe v. Wade was put into place. Infiltrating our school systems, voting locally so that way they could push it to the top. We need third party everywhere. Our governors, our mayors, our judges, everywhere. And that's when I say vote down ballot, I'm not saying vote blue down ballot. I'm saying vote your down ballot. I'm not the whole vote blue no matter who. I'm vote not red, which hurts me because I'm from Nebraska and red's my favorite color. But I won't vote for a single Republican. I promise you. And until we get our local areas flooded with third parties, I'm not even going to say specifically which one, just not Democrat, not Republican, we're never going to take over the top.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine if even 20 states had independent governors and one of them decided to run for president, the media wouldn't, they'd be forced to put them out there. Yes, Heidi, I'm a Cornhuskers fan. Don't judge me. We're coming back, damn it.
They're never coming back.
I have to drop, but like if there's anything that I could say as a swan song, like I just want to give a shout out to an artist who actually passed away this morning, Shelley Duvall, the actress who starred in The Shining.
Did she really?
Yeah.
What? No.
75, yeah. One of the most iconic roles in film history, and it was directed by a really meticulous, perfectionist director, Stanley Kubrick. So like definitely like she earned her flowers. Like that scene where where Jack Nicholson's character like finally turns and like slowly chases her up the stairway, and she's walking backwards. That scene, they did that 127 times. So she walked backwards, the equivalent of the height of the Empire State Building for a movie. So
that's great. Ain't no way.
Yeah,
ain't no
definitely like.
The Shining was one of my favorite movies. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. The book is way better. It's really good if you read.
And unfortunately, like that movie did a number on her, and I don't think she did a lot of work after that. And
she didn't. No,
mental
she was
illness hurt her. Yeah, like
she was in an adaptation of Cinderella. Now I'm dating myself. This is way back in the early 80s. It was an HBO special. And I remember her from that. It was really amazing.
I've never seen The Shining.
What?
Are you serious?
It's not really my thing.
I'm not a horror.
Do you not like horror?
Yeah, I don't care for it, to be honest with you.
But The Shining was so good.
It really was.
Like not horror movie esque. More like
I'm not afraid of like scary movies. I don't. It's just.
I can understand that.
Watching the mental breakdown though was they did such a good job.
Yeah, like I'm just not enthused by it by any stretch.
You know what?
Giovanni, thank you so much for the $20 Cash App. I appreciate you. W Giovanni.
You know what's funny is I am a huge horror fan. I watch a lot. I just recently over the weekend watched all 10 Saws, like in a row. Well, it took me 2 days because it's 10 of them. But I'm a huge horror movie fan. I use horror movies to like decompress from real life. So what does that say about real life that I'd rather watch Saw than participate?
Pretty bad. 10 of them? Is it like a Now CD?
Yeah, I think one of them. I think that they're not even like the last few weren't even like called Saw for real. It's like
the last one is called X because it's Saw 10. So I just watched them. So it's Saw all the way up to number 7, and then number 8 is Jigsaw. Number 9 is called Spiral, and then number 10 is called X for 10.
I don't do horror movies, but I can watch Saw because to me it's more gore than horror.
And then the weekend before that, I watched all the Scream movies. I'm a huge horror person, especially like Stephen King, like books that turn into movies, because I like to criticize what they take out and what they put in. It's my thing, and that's how I decompress from real life.
Everybody has their thing.
But yeah, just want to say thank you, Jones, for the opportunity. Because this stuff is frustrating, and it definitely helps getting the frustrations out.
Yeah, man.
So I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely appreciate you guys.
And I'm gonna go back to my black job.
Yeah. Oh shit! You got a black job?
Oh, I am one of the top in my black job too. I'm dare say HNIC. All of it.
That's crazy.
And I got equity, which means that they can't take that from me unless SCOTUS is trying. But
they got any black applications? Because I'm sure a few of us could use.
I've been hiring as many as I can. We're in a freeze right now because the Chevron deference. I specialize in forensic accounting and anti-money laundering, and because of the deference, we have been crippled basically on like what we can do to help the regulatory authorities, and so we're trying to figure out what to do. And until we get word back from our state's DA and exactly how we can function, everything's up in the air.
Hey, can I ask you a question? It's super unrelated at all. Have you seen, Pablo? Have you seen that key? Oh, thank you for all the subscribers in the subwave. I appreciate you guys. Have you seen? Remember, if you're a subscriber, you get access to the Discord. And it's coming soon. People have been asking me about the classes, and I'm actually developing the course. And then anybody who is subscribed to my Patreon at the scholar level, have access to the scholar part of the Discord. The entire course is going to be uploaded in there. So this is going to be my first actual course. It's going to be like an introduction into intersectionality. Then the second one is going to be deconstructing and decolonizing. And then we're just going to add on from there. But the first course will be hopefully by the end of this month. It'll be uploaded in there. Yeah, we should have it done by the end of the month. 15. I think it's like $15. Have you ever seen the Key and Peele skit where Obama is like meeting the people who won the NBA championship?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Obama just did it in real life with the Team USA team. He reenacted the entire skit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He reenacted the whole skit. Look, I'm gonna show it to y'all because this shit is fucking hilarious.
He's been doing that for years, man.
I know,
but it's like art. It interprets life.
It's so funny though. All right, hold on. I'm gonna show it to you.
But by the way, I've been a subscriber of yours for a while now, and I still haven't gotten an invite to the Discord. Just saying.
Oh, what do you mean? The link's in my bio. Or you just send me a DM and I'll send you a personal link. But yeah, the link's in my bio. All right, here you go. Oh. Yo, that's so funny. So,
You know this. Keith Williamson. Nice to meet you. Mary Woodbury. Nice to meet you. Jay Martell. Nice to meet you, sir. Tasha Robbins. Come on. Feel that? Emily George. All right. Nice to meet you. Come on. What's up, fam? How you doing? Never forget about that, because that's all we got. Nice to meet you. All right. Bring it in. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. 1-8 black. Afternoon, my octoroon. Come on. I'm in the dark. You tucking it in there? But you tuck though. You tuck it. Nice to meet you, John Steve.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. He definitely did that. Definitely with like Steph Curry, that went through his mind as he's going through those lines. That's 100% true. And I love it.
That is so hilarious, man. So hilarious. 1/8 black.
Afternoon off the room.
I love us. I just love us. Don't take nothing fucking serious.
Oh man, yo, that shit had just had me dying laughing. I'm like, y'all need to get y'all shit together.
I gotta drop down because I'm gonna go meet up with Political Mom because she's in my town today.
Lit.
So yeah, I'm excited. But anyhow, thank you for having me up. I appreciate it. Remember, everybody, vote down ballot. It's so freaking important.
That's what matters.
You guys all have a great day.
You too. I'm going to drop to Mr. Jones so I can go eat something, so I can take my medication, so I can stop crying over spilt milk. I love you. Thank you so much for having me up here. I love your platform. I know you get a lot of hate, but fuck the haters. All right? And stop crying, because every time you cry, I cry, and I ain't no punk bitch. Not saying you are. That didn't come out right. You know what I'm saying? All right, bye.
All right, have a good one. What's up, Hazzy? I see this gay furry hackers. Project 2025.
Yes, that's so amazing. Have you read the conversation? It's fucking awesome.
I'm reading it right now.
It's so great. Oh,
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
I didn't see that one coming at all.
I am whatever you say I
Um,
am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. Radio don't even play my jam. Are
it's
you
so
aware that
good,
you won't be able to
which
wear
I
a furry tiger
totally,
costume when you're getting... Oh!
damn, I know. Like, oh, wow, you talk to Jesus with that mouth, bro? Like, I came up
Does
here to
Mike
say
Howell
that,
not know that, like, furry is not a sexuality?
because they're stupid. Because all they know is how to fearmonger. But I finally got up the courage to watch that documentary, Bad Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
Yep.
So I watched it, and it was all stuff that I had already pieced together. But the way that they went all the way back to the history of our nation and then pushed it forward, I mean, we are fighting against this. I mean, it is a whole network full of money and power and greed. And I mean, I was like, damn it, I told myself I wasn't going to watch this because I didn't think I could handle it. I cried for 2 hours afterwards. And then, and then I started thinking about, because they followed, everything from, like 2016 down. And then when I was listening to the folks on the panel, and I was like, oh man, because yeah, it's you feel like you're up against the wall, like this wall of money and power and greed and evil. I mean, just these people, say that they're for good, but they are evil, the grossest of the gross human beings.
It's pretty bad.
And we have to and I think we have to remember to try not to be so hard on each other, because I mean, it's like we have the pandemic and then all of the disgusting the orange piece of garbage. He just emboldened all of the creeps to come out from the dark. And so we were in survival mode, and we fought so hard to just not be obliterated, right? And so then once he was pushed out of office, I think we were all just frozen in, like, okay, now what? And I think we just kept maintained in survival mode, and we all needed just to take a breath. And we barely had, we had no peace. Nobody had peace, especially people in oppressed communities, before we're bombarded. I mean, they are not going to give up. They have been orchestrating this. Our whole system is set up for people like this to stay in power. And so they are not going to give up unless we keep on fighting, and it has to be grassroots. It's bottom of the ballot up. Nobody is going to start a third party, unfortunately, because it has been orchestrated this way from day one, can start top down. And unfortunately, that's what we're up against. But I do this for all of my kids that I see every day who have no rights because they're in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
The system sees them as property,
Yep.
as objects. And we cannot let these disgusting people do this for just because they want to keep their coffers full of money and abuse children and people.
Yeah.
We can't, we can't give up. Stay angry. If that's what fuels you, you stay angry.
Mm-hmm.
If love fuels you, love. I don't fucking care what it is that fuels us anymore. We have got to beat these motherfuckers because the little people don't have enough people fighting for them against these warmongers. They don't. And if it not us, then who? Then who? So we can be ideologically and stand on our moral high ground all we want, but that doesn't serve the small people who don't have any rights at all. It doesn't serve them well. So we have to think about them, the people who have the least rights. We have to.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It has to be a bottom-up approach. We have to take the people that are the most marginalized and make them the most.
We have to be tactical.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be tactical because, unfortunately, I can't believe we're fucking here now, but we are. And yes, I don't co-sign a lot of every time the Democratic Party does something or Biden signs off on something and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't co-sign all of it, but if we give it over to the fascists, to the Christian nationalists, we're cooked.
Yep, agree.
We're cooked. And I hate that, but it is what it is. But anyways, I love you, Mr. Jones. I can't wait to read your article. Damn it, I told myself I wasn't going to cry today, but I did.
It happens. Sometimes a good cry is good.
Right. Now I'm going to go scream into the void and then keep swimming, one person at a time.
Good luck. I appreciate everything you had to say. I was listening here just in awe. Yeah, it's great to hear somebody talk about these things with passion. I just came on here and it's beautiful to hear your words.
Thank you so much, friend. All right, love you guys.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, so I'm going to ask two questions. Sure. One is going to be pertinent. One is going to be kind of pertinent. So the first one, I was always confused which things are racist and which things are not racist. Because I heard you talking on the live, I think like 2 days ago, and you were saying how Asian and Latino aren't racist. So like, are there only black and white? Are those the only two races? Or there's like...
No, I never said that. Latin is not a race. Asian, right? It can be a race and an ethnicity.
Okay, so it can be both.
Yeah.
Okay. So what defines a race as different being to an ethnicity?
So it's just how it's socially categorized, because it's socially categorized in different countries in different ways. Like in South Africa, for example, they have like black people, white people, and then they have the coloreds. And the colored is an actual, you know what I'm saying, race classification. I would be considered a colored in South Africa. In America, we have black, white, indigenous, Asian, indigenous Pacific Islanders, and then Asian.
So the things that are on like the governmental documents, when you're like, why? Like, okay, that's good to know.
But in terms of like, who, like, anybody can participate in anti-blackness or racial bias, even black people, but they
Of
can't.
course.
But they can't be racist though.
Oh yeah. I agree. I believe to be a racist implies that there's a benefit from your ideology. Well, saying like anti-blackness, I think anybody can be anti-black, but I don't think it benefits everybody. So I don't think black people can be racist because it doesn't benefit them to be racist. So you're not really racist, are you? You don't have informed consent of what you're doing.
Right.
I was curious on what races were because I was confused. I thought Latino was a race. I thought like that because you could.
No, I said ethnicity because there's Afro-Latin people.
Yeah. I was thinking about that because I was like, how do Afro Latinos exist and then Latinos be a race? So I was questioning that. Yes. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense more. It's an ethnicity. I thought a race was like if you could describe like a phenotype, but it doesn't have like any cultural background, and that's a race. The second question that's less pertinent is, I think I saw you in the Florida area last year on 2023 for the trans rights, downtown Orlando. Yeah, I saw you. You were giving out pizzas. I was the guy handing out waters.
Yeah, I was handing out pizzas.
That's so cool. Just real quick question: do you like live in the Florida area? Because I saw you go to a little. That's great. I have an event. Could I send you a? Could I send you a? Yeah. I have an event and it's like the starter for my little nonprofit group. We're setting up and we used an event as like a big advertisement thing. So I would love if I could like send you the flyer, and even if you don't come, just like
when is it?
August 31st.
Where specifically?
The Wedding Barn in Oviedo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what my August calendar looks like, but if I can make it, I'll come. I'll definitely show up.
Yeah. Do you have an email I can send that flyer to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just shoot me a DM.
I got you.
Yeah, shoot me a DM. I got you.
Well, I appreciate all the work you do out here, man. And it was really nice to see you in the Florida area. I was just checking because I was like, is this the same guy? Because I noticed your face. I was like, okay. All right. Well,
I was there. I handed like, you know what I'm saying? I got there essentially when it first started, like when there was nobody there yet. It was just me and like a couple of other people. And then it started to get, start getting a little toasty outside. And I know people were probably getting hungry because we had been out there for like over an hour. So I just had a whole bunch of pizzas delivered to the, like, it was so funny because the pizza delivery guy's calling me on the phone, like, where are you guys at? I'm like, we're outside.
Yeah, I saw you like walked off and then you walked back with like a cart of pizzas. I was like, where did he get that? This dude's magical. Like that shit is dope. Good looks, man. Thank you for the education you're giving these people. Really good work.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Yep. Yeah, that was a good day. Thank you so much, Martini. I appreciate you. You're amazing. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for now. For now. Not for the day, but for now. If you haven't already, go to the link in my bio. Check out the article. Read it. Let me know if there's anything, any questions that you have or whatever. Shoot me a DM. Also, there's only like $125 left in our daily goal. So if half of y'all sent $1 to either my Cash App or any of the pay links in my bio, we'd meet our goal for the day. I'll probably be back on, but I'm going to be on the other account here in a little bit. But I got to get my hair done. I got to get a haircut, and I got to go to the grocery store. So once I'm done with all of that stuff, I'll come back. How's that sound? We might even do a late night live. I'm actually liking doing the later ones now though too, to be honest with you. I think that those have been pretty good, in my opinion. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Thank you, Leggett. I appreciate you for the $5 Cash App. You're amazing. But yeah. So check on your friends. Everybody who says they're okay is not necessarily okay. Protect your peace.